Bhikkhu Sanghasena was born in Timosgan village, in the mountainous region of Ladakh in northwest India. His early name was Thiring Acho. He was grown up in the religious family and was raised among the people possessing an ancient tradition of peacefulness, humility and innocence.
My father was like a yogi. I had the influence of my father's very much. My father used to spend hardly any day without reading the scripture, without reciting the mantra. And wherever he goes, he will always carry a bunch of books on his back, and before he leaves the house, he will recite certain mantra, and before he enters into the house, he will recite mantra. So I was born and brought up in that family.
He joined Indian Army at the age of 17, where he developed a strong sense of personal discipline.
The only new thing in Ladakh, the only new attraction we could see was army. Army soldiers and some army jeep and trucks. Most attractive thing for us since there was nothing else new in Ladakh. So finally the chance came. I went at the age of 17, joined the Indian Army. I was very happy, and every bit of my life in army, it was for me. We never used to think what is the purpose of army, why we are learning to fight and kill others. Never think. So the training was like a sport, like a game. So I enjoyed every bit of my training in army.
It was not long before an incident changed his life forever. His deep-rooted spiritual inclinations clashed with the rigid requirements and values of military life. Therefore, he decided to abandon the military life and went in search of a life that was more sacred and harmonious.
And when I arrived at the monastery, it was like coming back home. That is what I have been looking. I was so happy to see my master. I was so happy to be in that monastery. That clearly shows that I have been a monk in my previous life, and in this life I have been again looking for the thread where I have left in my last life.
In 1986, Venerable Sanghasena, with the help of a number of his close spiritual friends, founded the Mahabodhi International Meditation Center in Leh Ladakh.
When I went to Bangalore to become a monk, I have no such idea to come back to Ladakh and to start the Mahabodhi International Meditation Center and all these endless projects. What I had in my mind was to study the teachings of the Buddha and to live a yogic life in a solitary life in a mountain or in forest. But when in my monastery I learned from my master and also from the teachings of the Buddha that spending my whole life in a solitary, a yogic life would be a little bit of selfish. I owe something to the society, especially in Ladakh. So I got a lot of inspiration from my masters and from the Buddha's teachings to do something for my people in Ladakh. So in 1986, I came back to Leh, and I clearly saw and realized there was a need of a new organization.
It was in 1992 that the Mahabodhi Residential School and Mahabodhi Girls Hostel were established to provide education to underprivileged children from across Ladakh.
Julie, I'm Kunjung Dechin, first batch student of Mahabodhi. I belong to a very remote village of Ladakh in Nupra called Digger, and I belong to a very big family with 4 wonderful sisters and loving parents. A turning point in my life in the year 1992, when I was just 6 years of age, I had a privilege, and I must say I'm one of the fortunate girl among my siblings.
Jile ngi me chiring choro de chinle yanga ta naingle tune singo langa Mahabodhi branch school timos gansle tinle tune daksanga di Mahabodhi devachan school nasilele nga daksana standard nainle tune nga di rong se mas kit porakle tune nga hostel life gazo puchante sangma experience po demo thogle tune aru timos ga khirtena Chijik facilities yot desangya langa jadi ka thopkan sora rakle
Studying the scriptures, discussing about philosophy and meditation is good for certain type of people. But how about the children, the poor children in the remote villages and others, elderly people or sick people who need a hospital, who need a school, hostels, education? Meditation is not enough for them. Meditation and high philosophy is not their priority.
Mahabodhi urgyan devachange urgyan Sanghasena Mahathera Uhunge diskutin Jid Uhunge diskutin miljit Phame phajatukan mame majatukan Sanghasena Mahathera Uhunge diskutin miljit Uhunge diskutin miljit.
Yes, I met Venerable Sanghasena, I think it was 2001 when he was visiting Germany. I met him in the Buddha House, that's a Buddhist center in Germany, and Buddha House, Venerable Sanghasena and Mahabodhi, they have a strong and close relationship now for many years. And when we met him the first time, I didn't know anything about Mahabodhi, the work of Mahabodhi or anything else. We listened to his Dhamma talks, and after this Dhamma talks he had shown us some pictures from Mahabodhi, and Helga and me, we decided, oh, it sounds very good what we have heard, but let's ask if it would be possible to work as a volunteer in the hospital. And Bhante Sanghasena said, yes, you are welcome.
Everyone at the old age home has his or her own touching story to tell, which makes you cry and leaves you thinking.
Nganyara nanonole, ninga isis palron de rale. Ngan naruk kamato zuklochi zino kanjura hatata leonsile. Nana elenti chama hatata la kongjale. Nere kananga hatata la dukse le ya khore gota sana maneri skorari tenda khore nyotunle. Nenge sanga sing oye na do di ganses kancho go khong dika denchu le densa la gen sanga sina. Ne ya khore ndu so khong dika cho turje katin dika le to golna kharji ngare nargos kharji golna chi tanja sale nga nit ko nang ni thong na tik ti le daksa nit ko nang thong se ngangen le skutin nga ni che to kan chak sa ja no le nga ni che yang sama sa kan chak sa ja gel ne skutin nga na ni je chalak nga chi ga se ko le nga na ro ja ta sulfa drang Kona go gende chol nane choza skite gar sale gelle turje katin gelle turje che.
Now when somebody become aware of the need of this project, how important it is to such project, for example the old age home. This is the only home for the elderly people for the entire Ladakh, and this was the need. There were many elderly people, who had so much difficulties, hard life at their end of life, and this was needed. Now, since nobody started because nobody had become aware fully the need for such things.
The concept of Mahabodhi residential home for the aged, destitute and disabled started with Padma Laskit, an old woman who was abandoned at the government hospital in Leh. The doctors there had repeatedly admitted her to the hospital for 7 years as she had nowhere to go. And today, it has around 36 elderly people living with dignity, care and love showered upon them by the children and the staff of Mahabodhi.
When I get asked what are the most impressive moments or what is the most impressive thing here in MIMC, that will be difficult to give an answer to this, because I think most of the things are here very, very impressive. But just a few moments when we go, for example, to the old age home. And as far as I know, it is the only old age home in Ladakh. To feel the atmosphere in this place, it's not a place where old people just stay and get food and get a place to sleep. No, it's the whole atmosphere, which is done by the staff. They created a really, really very nice place here. And to feel this, that is very, very touching. That is very, very impressive when the elderly people are coming, when Memele and Abile are coming and we talk to them. We talk in German, they talk in Ladakhi to us, but that's a special kind of secret. Maybe it's the secret of David Chan, I don't know, but we understand, that's maybe the language of the heart.